the bagpipes.
My eyes!
Today, Hannah gets an eye full of men in kilts in Scotland. Kyle and Teddy stir the pot in Provence.
Everyone looked uncomfortable, including Erica.
But why didn't anyone ever say anything?
And Brat is here to tell us all about her new season of Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta.
I see what he's trying to do, but it ain't gonna work. He gonna get this serious talk.
This is your reality check.
Here we
need
go.
to pee.
Hey everyone, welcome. Got the peanut gallery happening over here. Did you miss us? We missed you. I am Lyndsey Rodrigues, and today I'm so happy to welcome hip-hop artist Brat. Welcome.
What's up?
What's up indeed? And back for more fun, we have Jameer Pond from BET's Black Coffee. Welcome back, buddy.
Hey.
And this is like the ultimate crew right here, and we're gonna get into our top 5 right away. Let's do it. At number 5, Anthony Scaramucci's wife, Deirdre Bell, may be joining the Real Housewives of New York City. Now, on the couple's joint podcast, Mooch and the Misses, they discussed a report that claimed Deirdre was already in talks with the Bravo show. Deirdre slyly said that she can't talk about it, and then the Mooch chimed in saying, I'm totally fine with it. Well, he needs a paycheck. He got fired from the White House. Right? Do we think that she would be a good addition to the cast?
I think people may want to see what's going on in his life. I don't think too many people care about what she has going on. I personally don't.
Yeah, I want to know about the Mooch.
So I think the check. I think you're right.
You think the Mooch is going to mooch off of his wife?
Absolutely.
That does make sense, but I'm a little concerned. You know, is the Mooch wife going to say too much? You know,
Who
you got
knows?
some secrets there.
Yeah.
You might want to say something on TV. I may not like that if I'm the Mooch.
Well, I'm also concerned, who would she replace? Do you think they would swap someone else out and bring her in?
I would hope not.
Yeah, you got to keep Bethany.
Yeah.
As long as you keep Bethany.
Okay.
Well, at number 4, last night on America's Got Talent, Simon Cowell hit the golden buzzer for 11-year-old violinist and cancer survivor Tyler Butler Figueroa, who performed Kelly Clarkson's Stronger. Cue the tears. He explained to the judges that he started playing the violin to combat being bullied by classmates while he was going through chemo. So, Brat, do you find music to be an amazing outlet for you when life is getting you down?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. It's the best outlet.
It is.
Yes.
And let's have a look at this very
I don't wanna
emotional
cry.
moment.
I'm
I know
gonna
we're going to
cry
cry.
right now.
We're going to cry, but let's have a look.
Hold me.
My name is Tyler Butler Figueroa, and I am from North Carolina. I was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm actually crying, so we may have to get hair and makeup in here to touch this up. But I think it's safe to say that moment gave us all the feels.
Yes.
Yeah.
It gave me goosebumps.
Absolutely. Well, Tyler, best of luck. We can't wait to see your adventure from here on out.
Yeah.
At number 3, oh my God, I got so crying. While in the Scottish Highlands, Mike made a funny connection between the local folklore and one particular Bachelorette contestant. He declared the problematic Mr. P the Luke Ness monster, and what I think was a bit of a lukewarm pun. We will get
Not as good as yours. Your pun's always good.
You know I love a good pun.
Yeah.
And that was not one. But anyway, we'll get into that disaster of a date between Luke P and Hannah a little bit later. But real quickly, do you think the Luke Ness monster will survive the next rose ceremony?
I will. I think he's entertaining. Like he's a jerk. But I think you need that element on a show like that. You know, he stands out definitely. So I don't necessarily want to see him going, but I understand if he is.
Right. Brat, any thoughts?
He can get the hell on. I'm just tired of all the shenanigans. Like, it's almost like it's just being done for attention. And
That's what I
it's
think.
nerve-wracking at this point.
Yes, well, more on that later. But right now, at number 2, Chloe shared her truth on Instagram stories last night, posting, I met Tristan because he chose to go on a blind date with me. She continued, Tristan told me that he had an ex that was pregnant. Obviously, I was reluctant about us continuing to date, but he pleaded with me that the relationship was over long before we met. He showed me correspondence between them and had me on calls with his lawyers to prove his points. Now, look, this dude is a serial cheater.
Okay.
So do we believe Chloe's post?
And a serial liar.
Yes.
I
What do we
believe
think of
Chloe's
this?
post. I think she wants the world to know how she got caught up in the relationship and that it wasn't all her and she didn't chase him, because they say she chases basketball players and athletes and things like that. They say the whole family does. So I believe Chloe just wants to tell her truths and get them out, that she's a real person with real feelings.
Yeah, good call. What do you think, Jameer? Agree?
Well, usually I believe that black men don't cheat, because that's what I stand by. But look, that's just what I heard.
Right now.
I shan't not lie. I shan't not.
I shan't, darling.
I shan't not lie, darling. No, but I don't necessarily believe her that she did, totally out of, this came out of nowhere, but, it makes for a good story on the Kardashians.
It sure does.
Yeah.
It sure does. Well, from one troubled relationship to another, Bow Wow opened up on social media about his fears around adulting. This is our #1 in the top 5 today. He writes that, "What am I afraid of? I'm 32, but afraid to tackle on adult life things like marriage and a family. It's hard." Yeah, I absolutely feel you, Bow. But Brat, you're like a big sister to Bow Wow. So, what do you think is holding him back from reaching his full potential as an adult?
I think Bow Wow is a whore.
Oh,
he likes to have.
Wow.
Only a big sister could say that.
Yeah, it's like my little brother.
Yeah.
He loves women. He loves the attention. He's always acted like a child. He loves to have fun. He likes to do the things that the kids of today are doing, but yet he's an adult. So I think it's gonna take some more time for him to grow up more. Like he recently on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, he got in trouble, for having a fight with his ex-girlfriend now. So hopefully he's learned some things. But, I could talk to Bow Wow till he's blue in the face. He still does what he wants to do.
Right.
Even though I'm like, Bow, I went through all these things. I don't want you to have to go through these things. And he does it anyway and gets himself in these situations.
Yeah, you're trying to make him learn from your mistakes and just like be that guiding light for him. But,
Right.
Look, we're already into the topic, so let's dive deeper into the new season of Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. It premieres tomorrow night only.
Yes.
And are you excited?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
This season's trailer highlights Bow Wow's domestic and legal troubles, as you just said, with his former girlfriend. And in this sneak peek, we see you, Brat, responding to news of Bow's troubles. Check it out.
We warned him. I knew it was a toxic-ass relationship. Told him. I'm sick of worrying about you all the time. I'm sick of you and these chicks, and she wanna be famous. I mean, what's concerning to me is that he showed us all his anger issues in the past. This ain't nothing new. Here he go again.
So we touched on this before the clip rolled, but do you think he'll ever take your advice and seek out a healthy relationship?
I don't know. I doubt if he takes my advice and seeks a healthy relationship because he likes the attention. I think he likes the bicker and the banter. Something in him wants to go at it, but he wants to win in the end. Like, he's a spoiled brat worse than me. And I tell him that, like, dude, you're not going to always win every conversation. You can't be in a relationship and just be like the ruler. A relationship is 50-50, give and take. You can't just, you have to, meet someone in the middle, and he's not good at it. He has to run things. He think he's the boss of everything. Like, he's want to be better than everybody else. Like, dude, just fall back, grow up, and live your life and be happy. Get you somebody, get you an older woman. How about that?
Someone to
get you
keep you
an
in
older
check.
woman who doesn't want to be famous, who doesn't want to be a singer or a rapper, because then she's going to get jealous of you and become envious and want to go everywhere you go, want to do everything you do, and every woman that looks at you, she's going to have a problem.
She's gonna have a problem.
Exactly.
And I think some people mistake drama for passion. Do you agree? Like, maybe that's, what advice would you give him, Jameer?
I mean, I have a cousin who acts just like this, loves the kind of confrontation and passion, as we can say, like amongst his relationships, but it's not always healthy. And it could turn out like a situation like Bow Wow, which is totally unhealthy. So my advice would, you gotta grow up a little bit.
That's right.
You gotta grow up a little bit. You have to think foresight, all right. Bow Wow has a daughter,
Yes.
who's gonna be in her life that's gonna set an example if she's gonna continue to be in Bow Wow's life. So you always gotta think ahead.
I agree. Well, looking ahead to the rest of the season, Brad, I hear that you're working with Deborah Anthony to create an artist boot camp. So tell us a bit more about that. That sounds really exciting.
Absolutely.
Congrats.
I'm an artist from the 90s. We went to all the radio stations. We did all the interviews. We didn't just come up by posting some videos on social media and being an overnight fame or success. You need to go through media training. I do radio with the Ricky Smiley Morning Show in the mornings, and when I ask a question to an artist and I'm like, hey, so how do you like your life? How's your career going? It's good. No, I need a full answer. I need you to explain to me. Yeah,
elaborate a little more.
Yeah, they have no training. They don't know. I see performers performing. They look down. Why are you looking down? You have people out there coming to see you perform. Look at them. Engage with them. So Artist Boot Camp is media training. It's stamina. Get on the treadmill. Have you run a lap, doing your raps. And so at the end of your show, you're not tired. You might be real hype in the beginning of your show, but at the end, you're like,
Right.
So it's all of those things that make a great artist, and I'm an example because I'm still here since the 90s. So I want to teach these artists what longevity is and how to be a great artist.
And yeah, the value of a true hard day's work.
And be
I think
humble.
that's-
Stay humble.
Yeah, I love that. Jameer, what are you most looking forward to about this upcoming season?
Man, like aside because I want to see that flourish because I feel like more artists do need that.
They do.
I'm looking to see how this new R. Kelly, his daughter Twist is gonna add value to the show. I'm already a fan of the show, but now I'm be glued to TV because as we know, it's a whole bunch of controversy going on right there.
A lot of controversy there.
This season though looks like it might be. I predict it might be his best season so far. I'm looking forward to everything, the drama, the passion, the answers. We need answers.
And we got Waka Flocka Flame on the show as
Yeah,
well.
Waka Flocka and Tammy, absolutely.
Yeah.
And R. Kelly and Drea's daughter, her name is Buku. She's an artist as well.
Yep.
And I'm also an executive producer on the show now, so I just wanted to add that.
Get
so
that
it's
Congratulations.
It's going to be so much better that I've, added a few
that's
things here and there.
brilliant.
So I'm very proud of it. I'm happy to be a part of it, and it's going to be very entertaining. So I advise you to not miss it.
Yeah, I advise you to not miss it also. Well, Brat, thank you so much for joining us today.
Me.
It was an absolute pleasure to meet you. Jameer, thank you very much for hanging out as per
always.
usual.
We family now.
Yeah. Oh, God. And I'm just left out. It's all good. It's all good. Love you guys. When we get back, we'll be talking Bachelorette with Nick Viall and Jared Haibon, so make sure you stick around. Thanks.
Like, I can't give you this rose.
Welcome back to the show. Nick Viall and Jared Haibon are now joining us from LA to talk about the latest developments on Anna B's season of The Bachelorette. And later, we'll also talk about their series, What Now? Guys, welcome.
How you doing? Thanks for having us, Lyndsey.
Of course. Thanks so much for being here. We've got to talk about last night's trip to Scotland because a lot of things came out into the open. Check it out.
You know, my mom's probably gonna be upset that all those people saw my butt, but oh well. I saw your nuts, Connor.
So based on this, do we think Hannah has a good idea of who she's keeping around after those Highland Games?
Based off the butts, you think?
Yeah, I mean, she saw a lot.
She probably has she probably has some favorites at this point. The lead usually does, but I think kind of what's very interesting about this season is she's made it pretty clear that Luke P is kind of her favorite, but it's almost like his to lose, but he's doing a good job of losing it. So I think in other seasons, the leads had their favorites and they kind of go along the process, but we're kind of watching Luke P crumble, so that's been very interesting to watch. So we'll see if he is actually going to leave or it's left on a cliffhanger for a reason, but it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, well, I mean, on that note, it definitely wasn't just packages being exposed last night. The cracks in Hannah's relationship with Luke P were also sort of out in the open. So why don't we talk about the bummer fest that was Hannah's heart-to-heart with him.
Sometimes I look at you and I don't think that there are any roads that like lead to what I want. Like what I really want. Like I can't give you this rose.
All right, so Jared, Nick, what are your thoughts on Luke P? Hopeless romantic or just hopeless?
I just want to know if he likes macaroni or spaghetti better. He never really answered that question.
I think we all want to know that.
So I think I don't know. I mean, I feel like if he comes forward and gives her an honest answer about that, he might stick around. But
step in the right direction.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been pretty critical of Luke P all season long. He's obviously young, and I think that is playing a role too. But he's just not. I think it's pretty clear that he really has no idea who he is. He constantly seems to change versions of his story and says things like, "Well, to be honest," all the time, which is a pretty clear sign someone might be not honest when they keep saying to be honest. But yeah, I think he's young. I think she really likes him, and I think she's struggling like a lot of people in the real world dating. Sometimes we meet someone and we think we can change them and all these things, and it's hard to let go of that initial attraction, and we're seeing Hannah kind of deal with that right now.
Yeah, I think it's hard because Luke P. Oops, sorry, Lyndsey.
No, you go, Jared.
No, I was just going to say I think it's difficult because Luke P. is very young. He does seem a little bit over his head. He doesn't have answers to a lot of questions, and he keeps deflecting anytime he is pressed on a certain question that Hannah presents. And I think Hannah's becoming more and more frustrated because, as Nick said, I think right now, if Hannah had to choose someone, she actually might choose Luke P based on their initial connection, but initial connection is certainly fading away because every time she hangs out with him, I think it's becoming worse and worse, at least their relationship is, and I think her other relationships, specifically with Tyler C and Jed, are just becoming better and better, so I think it's kind of like the tortoise and the hare. Luke P was in the lead in the beginning, and now he's taking a step back and everybody's catching up.
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously really frustrated with him, and surely, no matter how young she is, like, she must realize that physical chemistry can only get you so far. Like, you have to actually be able to talk to your partner as well. So, I mean, I guess we'll find out what happens next week if he gets the rose. I don't know. I'm kind of sick of saying Luke P's name at this point. I'm just like, the guy is the worst. But anyway,
he is the worst, but I think...
I feel bad for Luke P.
It's a train wreck that's kind of fun to watch, if I'm being honest. But
also, I mean, as people,
if he goes, what are we gonna watch? I don't know.
No, I agree. I think Luke P has been the most interesting part of the season, which is why everybody's talking about him. But I also feel bad for him to an extent because, as we were talking about, he's made tons of mistakes, and he deserves a lot of the criticism he gets. But now it's getting to a point where it's just piling on, and I do think watching this past episode that Luke P is maybe just in over his head and has no idea what he's doing. And listen, he signed up for the show, but
I mean, his biggest problem is he lacks humility. There's other young guys who are doing a great job on that season, and
I don't know if it's
every opportunity. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every opportunity he has to just kind of not double down and make things worse for him, he seems to fail at that. So
yeah, but remember, everyone loves him. Everyone loves him, apparently. Yeah. But everyone loves you guys as well. So when can we expect new episodes of What Now from you both?
Well, they're all out on YouTube right now. There's 6 episodes. They were dropped 2 at a time for 3 weeks, and now they're there for everyone to watch at their leisure.
And so it's on YouTube right now. It's a digital series that is documenting Ashley and mine life, Tanner and Jade and Nick, because a lot of people ask kind of what we do now, specifically in LA, that whole Hollywood hustle. And so we kind of give a behind the scenes, an Instagram with no filter look into our lives.
That's really cool. How have the fan reactions been so far to the episodes that have dropped on YouTube?
Very positive. They love Nick. I'm more of Nick.
I'm honestly shocked people like it. No, I'm just kidding.
It's been positive, overly positive.
Yeah, the reaction seems good. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and we're all a great group of friends who are comfortable with interacting with each other and giving each other a hard time and having some fun and kind of showing the ins and outs, as Jared said, of what we're doing out here in LA. And there's a lot of ups and downs and highs and lows, and people seem to enjoy taking a sneak peek into what we've been doing. So we appreciate the positive feedback.
Awesome. Well, keep up the good work, you guys, and thanks so much for being here today to share your expertise on The Bachelorette. We are going to go to a very quick break, but when we come back, senior news editor of People.com, Michele Corriston, will be with me to talk about last night's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They're in Provence, and things were getting saucy, so stick around.
What's the problem? What is the issue you're having? If you have anything to say it now, because now it's out.
Welcome back to the show. It is now time to talk Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and here to help me do that is returning guest, People.com senior news editor and all-round rock star, Michele Corriston. Welcome back, lovely.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. So let's talk about the Beverly Hills babes and their trip to Provence, because while the friends may have been thousands of miles from home, their issues definitely flew business class with them, or first class, let's be real. Over dinner, Teddy and Kyle had strong feelings about Lisa's impersonation of Erika Jayne. Still,
hiding behind a character was confusing. What's the problem? What is the issue you're having? If you have anything to say it now, because now it's out. What do you think?
I really don't even understand where this is coming from.
I don't know what the Teddy's doing.
Okay, so Michele, seeing as Erika just seems so unbothered by this whole situation, why is it so important for Teddy and Kyle that she react?
Kyle has a problem with what Lisa said to her sister. She was not happy about it. She's not a confrontational person. She's hoping Erika will do the dirty work, and she is not playing ball.
Yeah, but I mean, Erica said repeatedly, I don't care, it's fine, it's a character, move on. So why do you think they couldn't just like let it lie? They're in France, for goodness sake.
There always has to be drama with this group, and I think without LVP around, they need to have some confrontation at some level.
Right, someone needs to poke the bear, I suppose. Well, look, Erica Jane definitely stayed very cool under pressure last night, but next week's episode does seem to point to more tension growing between Erica and the other women, so we'll have to wait and see how it all goes down. Right now, it is time for one last break of the day, but when we come back, we'll be hitting you with another great moment in reality TV history. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Michele Corriston from People.com is still with me, and now it is time for another dose of retro reality. Enjoy.
I just want to go on the beach. Where's the beach?
Right there. Where else would it be?
In this 2011 episode of Jersey Shore, Nicole Snooki Polizzi has a few too many before hitting the beach, literally.
Nicole, really?
JWoww knows trouble when she sees it and does her best to take care of her tipsy friend.
Let's go. I don't want to be the bitch, but you have to go. No, I won't.
Eventually, Seaside's finest were forced to step in and put an end to one of the greatest moments in reality history. The 4'9" reality icon was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct.
Get the off. Get off.
The charges were later dropped, but Snooki was given a $500 fine and 2 days of community service.
I'm a good person.
How many drinks would you have to be that annihilated?
I'm a lightweight, maybe 10.
What? Only 10?
But if you've been to Seaside, this is par for the course down there. This is what happens down the shore.
And also the summer sun, it gets to your head, doesn't it?
It does. You get dehydrated really fast.
Hell yeah. Well, we still love Snooki. And we love you, Michele. Thank you very much for being here today. Unfortunately, that is all we have time for. Thank you to Brat and Jameer Pond and Nick Viall and Jared Haibon as well for being here today. Tomorrow, Housewife OG Kelly Ben-Simone will be in the studio, so make sure you join us for that. I am Lyndsey Rodrigues, and I will check you tomorrow.